Thank you very much, Chairman LaBiondo and Ranking Member Lawson, for having this fourth hearing in a series of meetings to discuss the state of transportation in America. As Ranking Member of the Science, Space, and Technology Committee, I really understand the importance of innovating approaches to problems. As with any innovative approach, however, new challenges and obstacles await. As Congress considers making sweeping reforms to air transportation and upcoming FAA reorganization, safety, of course, must remain a major consideration. Our panel is dominated this morning by individuals from the unmanned aerial vehicle industry, and there's no doubt that drones are already integrating into our airspace at a rapid pace. So, Mr. McNeil, in your testimony, you spoke of some of the institutional challenges in government that aviation industry is facing when it comes to safe implementation of innovative technologies such as drones. Can you elaborate on the structural, financial, and regulatory and any other obstacles that are preventing agencies such as FAA from rapidly adopting new rules that are conducive to this innovative approach with this technology?
Yes, Congresswoman, thank you for the question. I think the structural challenges, and General Gibson alluded to this, are that we've witnessed a rapid change in aviation. It's an entirely new type of industry than previously existed. And so we have an agency filled with tens of thousands of hardworking people who are accustomed to working in a certain way, and now we're asking them to do things in a different way at a much more rapid pace. And so I think there are a few ways to empower those individuals. And so what we find are some of the folks that I mentioned in my testimony are agents of change within the agency. But they run up on some of the things that Mr. Whiteside and others spoke about, which are existing old forms of regulation and rules that now have to be interpreted for new circumstances. So I think one key thing that Congress can do to help ameliorate this structural challenge is to set dates certain by which certain outcomes have to occur. The best example of this most recently was the date certain that was set in the extension last year, both for implementing a NASA UTM program as well as the remote identification process. Clear direction from Congress. This is a priority to work on, and it must be delivered by a certain date. And that allows those change agents within the agency to say, listen, there's no negotiating on timelines here. We must implement this in a given period of time because Congress has told us we must do that. And oftentimes then if Congress follows on the approach side with the resources to make it happen, it really helps those change agents be able to act and understand what the priorities are. Otherwise what we have are, the entire forest is on fire and the question is which bush do we put out first or which tree do we put out first? This prioritization from this body I think is extremely helpful to the agency in knowing what the direction is and what the expectations of this committee are.
Thank you very much. Mr. Moses, the idea of commercial space flight also has a really kind of an exciting and thrilling type of spirit toward it. Can you speak more to the balance that FAA's Office of Commercial Space Transportation has achieved when regulating your industry for ensuring safety while also allowing room for innovation?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question, and I think I would wholeheartedly agree. The innovation of space and the dream of it is the reason why we're doing this, right? Is to allow that opportunity to others to experience that. In terms of how the AST office has worked through licensing technology or licensing process, sorry, It's like my colleagues here at the table, right? It comes down to a matter of interpretation. The rules are written, at least Part 400 is fairly new, so it is written for this industry, but it was very much written for an expendable launch vehicle type rocket stacked on a pad, launching from the coast, flying out over the ocean. And so an approach like ours, where we're launching rockets from an airplane, or companies that are launching rockets from balloons or using just balloons themselves, those rules don't directly apply. So I think the language in the AST's mandate to help the industry, allow them to kind of look for those solutions that allow you to kind of right-size an equivalent level of safety. An example for us, might be in smoke detection systems, right? A rule that's written for a system that has a manned vehicle mated to the space station for months at a time needs an automated system. We're in space for 10 minutes, and an automated system is probably not applicable. So having that flexibility in the regulation is extremely helpful to innovate our approach.
Thank you very much. My time has expired.
Mr.